Hello and welcome to Intuition with Marnilynn. How are you? I'm doing really good. Today I'm going to do a video where I'm going to talk more about having DID MPD, which is Dissociative Identity Disorder. And it used to be called Multiple Personality Disorder, but they changed it to DID about 30 years ago. And I think it should be called MPD because that makes much more sense than DID. I had a very interesting dream this morning, and I talked it into my telephone, and then I take it and email me a copy. I listen to it a few times, and then I start to edit it with my Grammarly program. Awesome program. And I have that dream written out here. But I want to talk about, I've been watching Tarot by Janine for about 6 months or more now. And I was introduced to her through a friend on Facebook. Janine had done a video in December 14th, 2021, and she had 3 decks of cards, and on each of these decks of cards, she placed different gemstones or different stones. The deck that I picked and the reading that she gave on that deck of cards was the third in that, I think it was a 19-minute and 53-second video. And she talked about the person who picked that deck of cards was a sovereign soul, and that in the zodiac setup of the card reading with tarot, she said that there was going to be a conversation that I was going to have with someone to repair a relationship. And when this conversation happened, I was to leave my ego and come with my listening and just to hear what they had to say. Leela just walked into the room. I was walking from here into the other part of my studio, and as I got near my island, which I've had that one little area in my whole apartment is very powerful, and when I walked past this one area, I had all of a sudden the feeling of my father coming up on my left-hand side, and he passed over in 2004, but we hadn't spoken for 12 years before he passed. And I had the reading in December, and this is February, so I've had time to think about and wonder who it was that was going to come to me and approach me about something to work on our relationship. And it turned out to be my father from the other side. And when he came in, I'm just reading, again, I talked it into my telephone and then I printed it up so I would have it. And when my father came in, he did have an ego with him, and he was very emotional at the time. And in the whole time that he's been on the other side and I have seen him, he's always been like 15 or 16 years old. And when he came with his mother shortly after she passed in 2009, he always would stand and kind of peek around behind her, and she'd be, "Donald, get up here and talk to her." And he'd never come until today. And today, in the conversation, he told me what was happening to him and why all of this happened to me to create the side effect of DID MPD. He said that he had been coerced, he was being blackmailed, and that he felt horrible when he realized what was happening to us children, and especially to me, and he was unable to stop it until I was about, I think it stopped happening when I was about 17 years old. And he was so apologetic, and I let him talk. He didn't talk much. He was not a man of many words. And he and I used to sit and discuss and have some good conversations. He was always surprised at my spirituality. And I was able to say to him that I forgave him for his part in this whole abusive, I can't say that word, this whole treatment towards me. And that he and I both agreed to it before we came into the human form. So I accepted his apology, and I am ready to move on from it, as is he. And with that conversation and the tears that I was able to bring up, I am feeling another lifting off of my soul, off of my soldiers, which is what they have become, as my soldiers to protect me. I have been able to lift all of this up off of my shoulders, so I hope now I can move forward with intuition with Marnilynn to help more people who have the same thing that I have, or who have ADHD or ADD, whatever it is that you have that's a mental condition, wrong words, label, wrong words, whatever you have that creates problems in your mind to be able to think clearly, to be consistent and focused on one thing at one time. I hope that watching me at 67 years old, going through my own healing of what was done to me to create this condition. And I am very grateful to be able to help my father on the other side to feel better about what happened here. And he is helping me to work towards my life's mission, which is, I believe, the wisdom cards, the pencil crayon drawings, the YouTube channel, just to get out what I have gone through to help you know that there is more than twisted up, gnarly, self-harm thoughts that we don't need to do. Remember the exercise of looking in the mirror and saying, I love you. You're a good person. I love you. You're a good person. I love you. You're a good person. How important that is to hear those words, to see you saying those words to you. Because the reflection in the mirror is your best friend. The reflection in the mirror is possibly the only person who's ever been there for you. The reflection in the mirror is the one person who looks to you for hope, for acceptance, for love. It's a journey. This human life is a journey. And we're just here to experience, to love others that we care about, that are in our circle, our family, our friends, our tribe. We have to love ourselves first. And having DID is possibly one of the hardest things to live with, because the buildings that have those doors that are all glass and they turn, and you get on and you walk a few steps and it lets you off and it lets others on, a cattle guard type of thing. that's what it feels like for me, is when this door rotates, I get on. Sometimes I go around a few times before I can get off. And when I get off, sometimes I'm out in a place where I don't know who these characters are on the stage of my life that I have to all of a sudden deal with. I don't know what the last person who's come out of this door, what they have interacted with these people. It has been a nightmare, because sometimes I don't get to come back for months. It hasn't happened for a long time, but it has happened. And it's so important to have that connection with the reflection in the mirror. You've got to learn to trust yourself. And when you start drawing up contracts for other people in the building, and you start getting into the details of what you want everyone in the building to do, then when you sign it and you leave the paper and the pen out, so whoever comes past can sign it, initial it, whatever. And I have agreements that I have left out, and I have different signatures all over. And I can see that there are some that are on the same track as me, within me, that are working with me, and we are all striving to be one person to the audience out there instead of fragmented, which is hard for us, and especially hard for you, and the reaction we get from you is very hard on us. So it becomes a vicious cycle. And the only thing that we can control is how we are with ourselves. So once the contracts are signed and the occupants of the apartment building start following this, then life starts to become easier for those of us with DID. Contracts and talking to that person in the mirror and giving positive affirmations has helped me immensely, hugely, impeccably. It's so important. And seeing my father today and having him tell me that he's proud of me, proud of the work that I'm doing, proud of me standing up and talking about my condition, and he was able to apologize to me. I've heard him since he passed in 2004. I have heard him come up and start talking and start to apologize and then leave. But today I got to hear that he had been blackmailed into allowing access to us children at such young age. And that is going to help me tremendously. In the next few days, I will start to see a healing process. I will start to see some improvements within myself in such things as such things as, I guess, basically just being able to be focused more and at a longer time, which is what focus is. But with DID, I've learned how to be able to focus when I come out. And another interesting thing that I have learned in the day-to-day of doing videos, as today is day 34 of videos in a row, I have gone through my wardrobe and picked out some tops that I want to wear. So when I want to make a video, I can go pick up the top, the outfit that I'm going to wear on camera, get dressed, do my hair, my makeup, sit down, do the video, turn off the video, go take the clothes off, get all comfortable, go start editing the video. When I was doing that, I was working on I was working in my closet, getting out outfits and thinking about it. And then all of a sudden, I was pulled away and I was out doing something else. So I heard a voice in my head say, "No, come back here. We're not done." I was in the back of my head, so I saw that I had come back into the room, and I started to work again on the outfits, and I could hear chatter in my mind. And when I asked what was going on, they told me that there are 8 people or altars in my system in the building that work on the wardrobe, the makeup, the hairstyles, and they need more time to come out to do their job. So not only do I have Lewis, who helps me with the filming of videos, setting up the camera, the background, which I'm still working on, and Lewis, and now we have 8 more people. I don't know who they are, and I can feel them in around me right now, because when I turn my head like that, it feels light-headed and almost dizzy, so it's a different level of consciousness that's in my mind. They are saying that there are 8. They have not come forward like this before, but they have come and helped me with my wardrobe over the years. So I am aware of them, but I've never been aware of them as a group that worked together on this in making the videos. Isn't that fascinating? And to be able to share this with you and no longer worry about my self-imposed stigma of having DID, because it's not my fault that I have it. It just means that I'm a highly creative, highly intelligent person who the abusers could tell that I could create this outcome. That's the truth of the matter. That's the bare backbones of the matter. That's what it's all about. And I am grateful to be able to share with you what's going on in my life. Let's do a 1-card reading just to see how the energy is for today. I'm going to use my zebra wisdom cards, and I'll explain again what I'll explain again what the wisdom cards are. Wisdom cards they come in 3 different sizes. I have the tarot size, I have a playing card deck size, and I have the little mini deck size. And there are 3 characters. There is the universe, played by grandfather, Earth, played by grandmother, and the student, played by grasshopper. And I ask grandfather and grandmother what they want grasshopper to know today. Let me just move my dreams. Cut the cards like a tarot deck with my left hand, because that's closer to my heart and to my spiritual side. And I'll show you the card. Teacher's grasshopper come in all shapes, sizes, and forms. It can be a human, a bird, an insect, or a plant. Keep your eyes open. My favorite is a hummingbird. Grandfather. So when hummingbirds come visit, remember, they are a teacher. Thank you for spending some time with me. I always feel good about myself after I've spent some time with you. And please like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell so you know every time I put up a new video. And I put up a new video every day. And leave a comment if you would like to see more videos along this line. Bye for now, and I'll see you in the next one.